magnesium deficiency and addiction. So yes, the nervous system is destroyed through addiction. We become like almost pure instinct at some point, and we're not really paying attention to what's happening in our body. And so the magnesium, typically a lot of alcoholics, addicts, they have a destroyed nervous system. They have shot nerves, I guess you could say. And so the magnesium comes in there and tries to heal all of that. And the best way to go straight to the nervous system, if you know anything about embryology, where you have these layers, these three layers, the ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm, and so the ectoderm is connected to the nervous system. And so that is going to be, instead of going through the mesoderm, which would be here, we go directly to the nervous system through the skin. And so this is much more powerful because we're getting a direct shot, and we can dose up much more without triggering all the laxative effects and harming the kidneys and everything else that our body's been telling us for a century now to not swallow stones. And that it doesn't work as well. The tissues will not saturate over time through this. Most of it will come right back out, and some of it will be retained because we need it. But you can't get the ubiquitous healing that you're needing when you can use your skin to do so. So you've foregone a much more primordial technology of distribution and absorption, and so that has consequences. Our ancestors didn't do that. The Greek and Roman bath culture, they knew about this. The mineral-rich waters that started that culture came from a place called Magnesia. So they knew, and we're getting back to that. Addiction it's going to be important to do treatment, 6 months of just every day coming on with this magnesium. There's no high level, meaning you can do as much as you want. The best thing to do would also be to find the other deficiencies too, A, D, and K, which is through fermented cod liver oil, not regular cod liver oil, and emu oil, which has been non-refined. If you can find those two, you can do a synergy of healing, which is the best way to overcome deficiency, because when you aim at one, you throw off the others, and then you're less efficient in the way that you're doing it too. The whole thing just goes backwards. It's like a limiting factor over here you're not focusing on is limiting everything you're doing here. So you have to do it in a synergy. But magnesium is the most limited factor of them all, meaning it's the one that can only help. It's kind of the umbrella in a way, and it can help in all of those cases, even alone, but also to do all three. So this is essential for addiction. It's not going to replace like somebody's drug, and we're not going into all this like serotonin, and I mean it does help to convert tryptophan to serotonin. It does help the nervous system. It does help the brain to think better and to get its concentration back, and to the memory, to heal some of these things. I'm not saying it's going to heal your memory, heal your brain, and I'm not giving you like this panacea in that sense. I'm just saying you need the high magnesium levels to be able to use all of these parts of the body in a proper fashion. I mean, it's involved in everything. So it's more of a general win-win. But I'm not trying to address the addiction part of it. That can be a spiritual sickness. There can be other factors there going on, from trauma on down to everything else. So we don't want to, the body's not meant to overcome all of that mind and soul stuff. There's other things for that. So, but like, 12-step programs, or, working with others, and all these elements that help you to come out of yourself and heal some of these other areas, and pay attention, and doing inventory on yourself, not being afraid to grab a pen and take a look inside and see what's going on with you, and allow yourself to be guided, and things like that. So those are all important, but at the physical level, magnesium is the number one. It's the number one, and you got to do it right. And I'll explain to you why right after this. And so you can come check us out at theheartoftradition.com, and I'll let you know why it's important to get the right choice. When it comes to magnesium, always get the right stuff. Do not go cheap in this area. There's a lot of stuff out there that's $1.50 a week. And we're $3 a week, so you could say it's double the price. But there's a lot of fake stuff out there, even stuff that's pretending to be Zechstein. It's called ancient Permian, genuine Zechstein. There's all sorts of labels out there, and they're self-certified, And the only real official seal that you could find from the Vendam, which is the city in Holland from which this natural salt pillow formation is, where you find this natural state magnesium chloride stone called bischofite in large quantity, is using the logo Zechstein Inside. So if the Zechstein Inside logo doesn't appear, is not on the bottle, it's not from the city of Vend. It's not the real thing. It's not even from Holland. So there's a lot of fake imports. The word Zechstein can't be controlled. So there's a lot of fake UPS, USP, pharmaceutical grade, and all these different companies, Spray and Permian and Trans Ancient, and you see these different labelings, and they're using the word Zechstein abusively. So the only way to guarantee the right thing is probably to spend a little bit more. The thing is it's not that expensive. It's $3 a week to knock out the #1 deficiency in the world. And so it's not something that we should play with just getting super cheap on. It's kind of like getting really cheap on our salt and eggs and milk and bread and things like that are so basic. We want to spend money in these areas to where we can ensure a better product, because when it's not coming from the Zechstein Inside and that logo's not on the bottle, first off, it's solvent extracted, it's chemically treated, and so therefore it's not the same at the molecular level as far as chelation, uptake, bonding, conjugation, and all these other membrane transport and connectivity and calcium channel blocking. All the things that magnesium can do are limited by the fact that it's been chemically treated, and it's no longer, I guess you could say, sticky. It's sticky as a substance no matter what they do with it, but it's no longer sticky to a molecular level and able to chelate and make those bonds and conjugations in the right way. So you want to get something that's done right by nature and pure. And so this guarantees that. Not only does it guarantee that, but it also guarantees that people aren't mixing some good stuff with some bad stuff and then selling that as Zechstein or whatever, because as soon as the label, the logo's not on the bottle, you can't rescan that bottle and tell what it is. So there's a way to just keep this fakery going. And so we want to try to find the right stuff. I guess most people, it's not that they're all malintentioned, but it's just that there's this kind of lack of consciousness around the fact that magnesium, oh, it's all the same, it's just a mineral, do what you want with it, but it's not. And so the same with milk, the same with bread, everything is different. You just can't say pasteurized like milk from these industrialized cattle is the same as small Jersey cattle, raw milk, and so it's just worlds apart. And so don't be fooled. So get the right stuff. That's for the first part. The second part is it's in glass. So if you want the right stuff, get it in glass. These glass blue bottles, and this is the signature series of the Zechstein Inside, as far as that type of quality that we could use to make sure the product has no endocrine disruptors, no chemical microplastic leaching into the product, and then that, once again, going into the body. Now, you don't want that in the body because we're trying to get those out of the body, and magnesium conjugations help pull that out of the body through enzymes. And so we don't want to bring some in at the molecular level on that same molecule. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. So do the right thing, get it done right, and get the right price point. $25 for 2 months is very cheap, and it's a good price point to cover the deficiency of the century, basically. So come check us out at theheartoftradition.com and get your own.